And what's kicking my ninjas? It's Ijo Ujo here today, and I'm coming at you with sort of another Road to Greatness installment. This one's going to be Perfecting Monarchs Volume 1. And this is going to be a what to do with the opening starting hand that you get going first with Monarchs, because usually when you're starting off with a new deck, the hardest thing to learn how to do is to learn what to do, in the opening. Learn how to start a game off. So let's dive a little bit into that with and before we keep going here, before somebody jumps in the comments and says, "Well, you got to open broken." Okay, first of all, you play 3, 3, 3, 3, and 2. You play a tons of copies of all of the same cards, so you're fine. You're gonna open these cards quite frequently together. This is the whole like the Beatrice opening. This is like my favorite opening to make, and I kind of discovered this like in the infant stages of me playing this deck. So this is a pretty sick opening to do, and it gives you a lot of game and a lot of interaction versus your opponent, and it breaks up a lot of their plays. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off. So what are you going to do with this hand? Well, first you're going to start off with Pan Prime, just like normal. You're going to draw 2 random cards. These cards, I'm not going to show you these cards. I might show you them in the end just to kind of see if we could extend our play a little bit. I like to play devil's advocate. You know me. So these cards are not integral to the combo at all. They're just cards you drew. Now, from here, you're going to banish your Pantheism, and you're going to always reveal 3 Tenacity first because it's just an extra free card for your Prime Monarch, and free cards is always good. So we're going to reveal 3 Tenacities, get 1 to our hand. Obviously, they have to give us 1. We're going to activate our Tenacity, and we're going to reveal Aether. Pause. So etiquette. Every time you're having to activate a card or show a card that you're going to reveal, give your opponent the least amount of information. If you're going to reveal Aether, you're going to summon Aether that turn. Don't reveal Aether and then not summon it, because that makes no damn sense unless you had to in order to start your entire play. So right here, we could search for return in order to set up a return play. However, we're going to actually search for domain. This is actually really, 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 really important in this specific situation because this is going to shrink this guy down to level 6, which allows us to make our Beatrice. So we're going to reveal our Aether. Then after we reveal, we have 2 routes to take here. If we put them on playing Veiler, which not every single deck plays Veiler, but if we know our opponent's on Pendulum or something like that, let's dodge Veiler by summoning this in order to tribute. Otherwise, we can just summon our Idols. Now, usually I like to bait out their Veilers early so that they don't Veiler this guy, but that's just me. That's down to my player preference, and that depends on whether or not I drew like a Brilliant Fusion or something. If I didn't draw a Brilliant Fusion or a Mithra, because I would just lead on Mithra otherwise, but if I didn't draw either one of those, then I'm probably not going to go for baiting out the Veiler. I'm just going to go for my Prime play, but for this video, we're going to say we're using Idos. So Idos is going to trigger, giving us an additional tribute summon, and we're also right here going to summon our Prime either way. So our Prime is going to come to the board in either direction. Just let's hope they don't have a DD Crow before you do this. Just if you're really afraid of DD Crow, just do it. Do this first and then do this second. But I haven't seen DD Crow in about 3 years, so the choice is yours. Moving on. So let's tribute our Idos. It's very important that we get this into the graveyard, actually, because its graveyard effect is how you grind out and gain so much advantage that you overwhelm your opponent with cards. We're gonna summon our Aether, and we're gonna send to the graveyard these 2 cards, Frostblast and Prime. Now, I don't send Pantheism here for one very specific reason. We're making Beatrice. We're gonna have access to our Pantheism from the Banished Zone, and I'm gonna show you how. Just give me a second. I promise it's gonna work. So with this gal, we're going to go ahead and summon a Kuraz. Kuraz is now going to pop this guy and this guy. If you notice, we already have right back again a loaded graveyard. Now we're going to draw 2 more cards. Boom. These cards, yet again, irrelevant to the combo. This is still a level 6 even if this leaves the field because that's what this card says. So we're going to go ahead and overlay these 2 into this gal. Bang. We always want to make it in defense here. Because just make it in defense. It's free. You're literally free rolling, setting up a wall here. So why not do it? Now we actually are going to take advantage of our Beatrice and activate it on our turn. Since it wasn't summoned by its alternate summoning, we can use this effect immediately. We're going to detach Aether. You always want to detach Aether first because of what we're going to send to the yard. Now, first card we're going to send to the yard is our Erebus. Why Erebus? Because when Erebus is in the graveyard, you can discard a Monarch spell and trap to add a Monarch back to your hand. Specifically, a monster with 1,000 defense and 2,400 or more attack. But in this situation, it's going to be our Aether, obviously. I mean, that's just where this is all headed to. And we're going to, yet again, for this combo specifically, we're not looking at these cards until after this is all said and done. But we have a Monarchs Spell and Trap to dump just in case they have like a DD Crow specifically. But if they don't, then, which no one plays DD Crow, then we're just going to set our Stormforth and we're going to pass our turn. We now have all the tools to interact with our opponent immediately. Just as their turn starts, we can break floodgates, we can do whatever we need to do. How in the hell is that, Joe? Well, I'm going to show you. Now, in their standby phase, do not let them get to their main phase first. You can do this in their draw phase as well, but the draw phase, if you're going first, they obviously don't have a card to set at quick play. So you're going to, in their standby phase, detach your Kuros, and you're going to send a idea to the graveyard. I do realize we just used both our Beatrice's materials, but it still has use in the fact that we can stack it in the Gaia Charger and OTK them on the next turn because we have 2 primes in the yard and we have a Frostblast to clear back row. Like we have all of the things in our favor now. So we can stack this bitch into a Gaia Charger. We're not playing PK Fire / BA, so we're not as attached to it as they are. And also, if they do deal with it, it still gives us another card, being Dante Pilgrim. So all in all, we get a lot out of our Beatrice. We get at least 2 cards, or 3 cards rather, and possibly even a 4th. So with our idea going to the graveyard being sent by a card effect, we're going to add our Pantheism back. Remember, you're in their standby phase at this point. So you can, if you put them on a read, you can activate this guy now, but still in their standby phase, you're going to want to activate your Prime. And right here, we're going to not discard, we're going to banish our domain. Now, the stage is set. So, we're going to allow them to move to their main phase now. And then if they do anything, well, now we've got the technology. First, you want to always go ahead. This is always going to happen. So you always want to do this at the start of their main phase just to have your Aether ready, locked, and loaded. Next, you want to go and activate your Stormforth, allow it to resolve, and then activate your Aether on a new chain. Okay? You probably don't want to banish this as you sent this in order to pop a card, and this is going to put 2 more in there to feed this guy anyway. I'm not going to continue on this is just showing you, just a setup play. This is just showing you how to get to all of this, and it's showing you how to get the maximum mileage out of all your cards. But this was like this is something I feel like a lot of newer players to the deck, or even like veteran players who just kind of don't, they don't make these plays. This is how you're losing a lot of games, is because you're not sitting there discovering like all the plays and all the lines of play and all like the setups and just knowing how to interact in the early game in order to progress you and get you to that late game. Also, you've stacked and set up your graveyard. I mean, you have literally 5 cards in your hand. You have a ton of graveyard cards. You have another card right here. Plus, this card here gets you your little white, which gets you another card out of your deck. This potentially gets you another card, and you potentially have a rank 5 play. You have a lot of things to do starting on your next turn and even interacting with your opponent. And besides the fact that Aether's going to be a +1 every single time. So you have a ton of free setup that you just got here. Hell, Aether can even equal a rank 8 because Aether can get another Aether, which then gets another Monarch, which then makes a rank 8. I mean, there's just so much that this offers you. I want to see what we drew. Oh, we drew awesome. Wow. Okay, well, we would have had to return to go ahead and tutor the Aether anyway, but either way, and then that means we wouldn't have to use both of our Beatrice materials. We also have a guaranteed rank 5 in banishing to summon this and use instant fusion, and we would have probably set this to go ahead. This locks the game up either way, I think, and this just takes the best card of their hand. Yeah, we had the goo. We had the goo, boys, but nonetheless, I'm sorry about all the shaking here. I'm just like having to touch a lot of cards at once, but this is a lot of like the setup that I use personally. This is like a very, 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 very good opening, like an opening posture to take against your opponent. This is a lot of card advantage, and this is a lot of interaction. So let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see more of this? Did you, did this blow your mind, or did you think about this already? Or you say, hey man, you're behind the times, we already knew about this play. A lot of people do know about this play. I mean, this is pretty bluntly obvious to a lot of people, but some people don't, and that's fine. So Just let me know what you guys think. I really like to make these kinds of videos just to kind of like interact with the world and show you guys like my play style and show you guys what I do from behind the scenes. So remember, drop a comment down below, leave a thumbs up, come back, subscribe for more content. Keep it kicking, my ninjas. And also, by the way, kick harder than your opponent when you're at a tournament. I know that doesn't make any sense on the surface, but it makes perfect sense if you think about this. Ruin his day. That way, your day can be better. All right? Keep it kicking, my ninjas. Joe, you just signing out. Peace.